welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're covering Stage 8 of Cqb Brutality. Now this one is really cool stage because it's based on the FBI shootout in 1986 in Miami, Florida. So what you did, you started in the seated position, and you put 5 hits on a piece of steel. It was about midway down the bay. Then you left from the chair and you had color-coded ports on the barricade, and those corresponded to color-coded targets downrange. For example, the red corresponded to a Know Your Limits target where each gong progressively gets smaller. The blue port was for the poppers that you had to take from the prone, and then from just under the top of the barricade at that port was yellow, and you had to engage all the paper targets from there. And then the stage was over. Let's take a look at how it went and enjoy a good laugh.
You calls that an MP5? Das ist ein Stück Scheiße. You Americans are very funny, yeah? Oh, you think no way. I'm a developer at HK. I don't think this is okay. Look at this, the way you massacred my boys. This looks a little chunky, yeah? Isn't this already patented or something? I don't know if you're allowed to do this. You're messing with German engineering. Where is the magnets? Hans, I think we have a problem. Ich habe eine MP5, you give a little slap. Ich habe eine MP5, we slap it just like that. Ich habe eine MP5, we have a little fun. Ich habe eine MP5, a 3D printed one.
Listen, I didn't come all this way for you to just be gentle with me, alright? I need you to slap me hard. I need to go into battery, alright? Give it to me. Don't hold back.
Do the HKslap.
By 5. Three on each. Alright, if shooter's done, unload and show clear. 4093. Five. Four on the 5, got it. Poppers. 3 on each. Paper. What it was. Alright, if shooter's done, unload and show clear. 4093. Bolt. 1, 2, 3. Alright, shooter's done, unload and show clear.
Well, I'm going to go first on this one. And I just had a cumulative set of errors here that mounted up to our difference. First one was when I loaded the gun, it didn't feel quite right, but I looked down, the bolt was in battery, and I should have racked it and just done it again. There was no way I was getting out of it without a reload, and that cost me right there. And then, as you see, the chair decided to come with me because as I stood up, it caught on the back of my canteens, on the back of my 782 gear, and I drugged that over to the other port. The Know Your Limits target blazed through that, had to go back and collect the middle one, but got a pretty decent time on that. Yeah. The poppers went fairly well. Wasn't a bad, as far as barricades go, it wasn't a bad prone barricade. No. And then on the paper, just you had to do that one-handed, and I did do that, but basically just the slower cadence of fire combined with the other things I mentioned, and that really ended up with the time difference that I had from you, who had a much better run.
Yeah, I mean, I did go a little bit faster. You can see it's a rate of fire. I mean, honestly, I think that was the main difference is the rate of fire on that AR is just faster. You know, I didn't really make any mistakes on that, which was nice. You could say that probably the biggest mistake I made is I was resting on that front grip in the yellow position shooting the paper, and at one point the barrel dropped down. But I mean, that cost me less than a second. So.
Yeah. No, it was a solid run for you, man. And that was this was a really short, compact stage that could be done very quickly. But on the other hand, it was a super practical stage because you were shooting from the seated position like you were in a car, all kinds of barricades, not just the usual VTAC stuff, and a very varied array of targets that you had.
Yeah.
The Know Your Limits target where the gongs got progressively smaller, then conventional poppers, and then switching to paper. You know, you really had to be thinking about what you were doing on this stage. Yeah. This may be my favorite one of the match. Now that I'm looking back on it.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. And but for us, the match wasn't over because we started on stage 4. So we still go on to 1, 2, and 3, although you've already seen those videos. We hope you enjoyed this coverage of Cqb Brutality 23. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in shortly because we're going to be doing a very in-depth video about the gear we use because it figured in prominently so much each stage.